Hi, everybody, and welcome. We are again with the glorious Dr. Anna Cabeca. Thank you so much for joining us. And today we're continuing our winning streak on talking about hormones. And today we're going to talk about nutrition and hormones, and really what it is and how you're meant to eat in order to help heal your hormones and keep them at their optimum, right? Is that what you do? Is that what our goal is?
Yes, 100%, especially now. Now we're in a time of stress, and that's going to deplete our major hormones, and that's progesterone and pregnenolone. So progesterone is our mother hormone, where we make, downstream, we make DHEA or adrenal hormones, we make estrogen and testosterone, all derived from progesterone as a base.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yes, absolutely. And so progesterone is important that we keep it high, because when it starts to go low, not only do we experience anxiety, moodiness, irritability, and we have kids at home. Yeah. cannot do that, right? And we're supposed to help them with their homework,
and without killing them.
All of us quarantined in-house together, someone will die.
Yeah. And then I'm thinking mid-coronavirus, we're meant to actually school them too, practically.
Admits that, yes. And so that is going to, again, that's stress, cortisol, everything goes to the life-saving hormone right now where we're at. And we have to temper that, because, there's fight and flight, and there's rest and digest and feed and breed, right? Like, we have to shift our physiology, because as we drop progesterone, anxiety, irritability, mood swings, anger, all of that can erupt, but also even like digestive issues, because progesterone helps with our, esophageal tone. So as we get these fluctuations, we're going to have digestive issues. Also, cortisol increases gastric acid secretion. So we're not getting as well nourished. So now more than ever, it's important to go Keto-Green. It really is. So we have to do intermittent fasting, extend this intermittent fasting, make it a lifestyle that we're breaking fast at least 13 to 16 hours after our last meal, dinner. And it's hard, because I don't know about you, Gita, I just want to be wine and chocolate right now. Like, I want my comfort foods.
I would have to say mine was margarita, but I'm kind of with you on that one, actually. Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm with you on that one too.
It's like,
I know. We talk about that, and it's, for many of us, if I stress eat, so I can relate to people who stress eat. And very quickly, when we are exposed to like crisis situation, trauma, everyday stress, the evening news, can we just say the evening news?
Oh, can we please not watch the news? Just don't watch the news. Don't watch the news. Just don't do it.
Well, and with that said, certainly we need to know what's going on in our environment, but what do we have control over? Right now, I have control over my queendom, which is me as the mom, and I'm a single mom. So me as the mom and my 12-year-old daughter, who also got too much vitamin D with me the other day. We were soaping up that immune protective vitamin D, the number one thing we can do to help our immune system. But,
I'm not sure everybody knows this, but actually the more vitamin D you currently have, the more your immune system is boosted. So especially because we're all under house arrest practically, more vitamin D you can get, the better you're going to feel.
100%. Absolutely. And it makes a difference. We need to get outside. We need to sit by the windows. We need to get exposed to light. I mean, just think, when we bring a brand new baby home and they have a little bit of jaundice, bilirubin increases, what do? We put them in natural light.
Yeah.
Right? It is so critical for many processes in our body, and it's critical for progesterone to work well, and oxytocin, a hormone of love, bonding, and connection. We know, when Vite actually just wrote a blog on this today that went out to my audience, but when we are low in vitamin D, we are more at risk for diabetes, cancer, osteoporosis, depression. Absolutely. Great point. Seasonal affective disorder. That's why at this time of year, we've been out of the sun for months now. We can have more of the seasonal blues or seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah, for sure. And also because when you absorb, vitamins all work together. They work in tandem. They don't work separately. So when vitamin D is down, it affects your vitamin C and your magnesium. And so you also don't sleep so well. And your immune system isn't. I mean, everything kind of works together, doesn't it?
All of it. All of it. It's never just one thing.
So I didn't understand that progesterone was the mother hormone and that actually it would balance everything. I didn't understand that. So that's really good. I'm going to go off and take more of your cream thing that I have.
I know. Like I'm going to pump some up right now too.
Yeah, like really, it's like, what did you say? 5 days on, 3 days off or something?
But no, 5 days on, 5 to 6 days on, 2 days off. And use it certainly as a discipline now, pretty much when we're over age 40, 45, where our progesterone, and if we're symptomatic with any of those symptoms, irregular cycles, breakthrough bleeding, irritability, PMS symptoms, tender breasts before your cycle, any of those symptoms, you're likely low in progesterone. So detox, right? Number one, detox, cleanse your liver. Hormones are metabolized in the liver. Cleanse your liver, get outside and get plenty of vitamin D, take your vitamins. Like this, I don't think there should be one physician right now saying don't take vitamins, right? You always hear that all over, like, oh, well, if you're eating right, you don't need extra vitamins. Who's eating right?
No.
And you know what? And even if we are eating right, understanding what we're exposed to, what we're dealing with, I mean, we need a full complement of vitamins, including vitamin C and zinc and selenium, right now for sure.
Yeah, no, I love that idea. Okay, let's talk about a few of the questions we've been asked since our last call that we did was on nutrition. So I want to understand about nutrition and hormones, please. And I know that you have a book coming out called Keto-Greens, which is phenomenal. But until it's here, can you like give me the skinny, the lowdown?
Absolutely. And there's all kinds of, and we'll provide you these links for recipes to get started on right now. Don't even have to wait, but pre-order the book and you get a food roadmap, some feast recipes, because, we still have to feast and celebrate, and, Keto-Green guide to get started on right away. So the concept of Keto-Green 16 and where I came from for me is from my own, traumatic physiology and life experience. I went through an early menopause at 39, reversed it, had a baby at 41, went through a second menopause at 48, gaining 20 pounds overnight, not to mention the brain fog and the crazy, reversed it the Keto-Green way. And then just now, I think I'm finally at age 53. I think I may finally be through menopause. I think we have another month to be sure. But the issue is because we're enhancing our physiology, optimizing our hormones. And we do that a little bit of maneuvering with, our minor hormones like progesterone, or they are still major, but progesterone and pregnenolone, but our overarching hormones, cortisol, insulin, and oxytocin, these three major hormones. And especially right now, we know that our immune system is more compromised when we're diabetic, when we have cardiovascular disease, when we have cancer. Those of us with lower hemoglobin A1Cs are at lower risk for cancer, recurrent cancer, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. So we want to optimize blood sugar. We do that by becoming insulin sensitive versus insulin resistant, which our bodies naturally want to do as we get older. We just kind of store and preserve ourselves, so to speak. Like we can exist in famine. Everyone else needs to eat. We'll eat last, right?
Yeah.
My children would like that to be the case always. Let me serve them.
Yeah, exactly.
So with insulin, getting insulin sensitive, and we have to do this, especially over age 40, and especially now. And if we have any immunocompromised men or female or any elevation or family history of diabetes, we've got to create insulin sensitivity. So we do this by intermittent fasting. So stopping dinner by 6 or 7 p.m. and breaking fast, ideally 13 to 16 hours later. In Keto-Green 16, I teach everyone and show you how to get to a 16-hour intermittent fast in a really healthy, empowering way. So you're not feeling like you're starving and you're sluggish or too much too soon. So really.
Okay, so hang on. Let me just break down what you said. So what you're saying is that generally speaking, when we eat badly, we eat a lot of processed food, we eat a lot of sugars, and we eat a lot of stuff that we shouldn't be eating, what we end up with is a thing called insulin resistance. And this means that our body just doesn't break down sugars well enough for us to use them. And a whole bunch of things go wrong off the back of that. You get inflammation and you get all kinds of problems. This always happens to me because my cat now wants to leave the office. And so then what you do is you then go to insulin sensitivity to counter the effects of insulin resistance. Is that right?
That's absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay, keep talking about insulin sensitivity and I'm going to come back after letting my cat out.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead. Because in England, you also monitor the hemoglobin A1C, and that's an important blood test. Now, if you've ever had a health insurance physical, you're over 40, surely you've had a hemoglobin A1C checked. And if not, you need to know your hemoglobin A1C number. So Geeta, I'm just saying, everyone needs to know their hemoglobin A1C number.
How do you find that out?
It's a blood test. It's a blood test. You probably, if you've had a general physical exam over age 40, that's one of the standard tests that are pretty much always done. And definitely if you've had a life insurance physical, they pretty much will always check a hemoglobin A1C, which represents your blood sugar stabilization over the last 2 months. Now, according to our levels, when we see a hemoglobin A1C of 6%, you're pre-diabetic and your doctor start to get worried and, say, okay, at that point you need to start shifting things. When you have a hemoglobin A1C of 7, then we call you diabetic. But the reality is when your hemoglobin A1C is greater than 5.3, every point, like 5.4, 5.6, 5.7, every point closer or higher, you have a significantly increased risk of Alzheimer's, dementia. Significantly increased risk, and we call that type 3 diabetes. What happens now is your doctor will watch that creep up over time, or maybe not even check it until you're symptomatic. Y'all, we cannot let that happen. You have to check, ask your doctors, get the hemoglobin A1C, or order the blood test yourself in the online test. Many online testing companies now. Hemoglobin A1C. So Geeta, this is really critical. I have a brilliant physician and her hemoglobin A1C was 6.0. It's been that way for a decade. Diabetes on both sides of her family, Filipino, so higher risk for diabetes. And she exercised, she's a fabulous, brilliant physician, really ate well, but could never budge the hemoglobin A1C of 6.0, absolutely stress physiology. Cortisol increases glucose. I mean, you can just forget it. So what we did Keto-Green 16. She did 2 rounds of it. And in 1 month, her hemoglobin A1C went from 6.0 to 5.4 in just 1 month. I mean, typically we don't expect a shift for 2 months.
Wow.
But in 1 month, it went from 6.0 to 5.4. Now mine has been as high as 5.7 over a decade ago. It's now 4.8. 4.8.
So what did you do to her diet?
Keto-Green 16, the 16-day program. Intermittent fasting. You break fast. So when you break fast at 13 or 16 hours after your last meal, you have a healthy fat, a healthy protein, and lots of greens and fiber. So the key thing is we're adding those greens, low carbohydrate, alkalinizing vegetables between the, collards, kale, Swiss chard, spinach, all those really good healthy greens. And then other things like the cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, broccoli sprouts, alkalinizing good vegetables. And that helps with detoxification, helps with elimination. And when we can't get constipated, we really need to make sure that we've got enough fiber in us, but a lot of good healthy minerals, methylators, sulfators, to support our body's detoxification naturally. So we add those in. And the healthy fats, and we often not getting enough fat and not getting enough protein as women. So
I always feel women eat too much protein.
I don't know, not when we get older, but we have to look at that. We really do. I know I work with a lot of vegetarians and they're not getting enough protein for the most part, or healthy fat. So we really have to look at that. So I think it's important.
Definitely not enough fat. I'm sure of that.
Yeah. And, I grew up, I was in high school and college in the 80s, and that's when the low fat movement was at its
drives me insane.
peak. Yes. And we need fat for hormones. I mean, where does progesterone, pregnenolone come from? Cholesterol.
Yeah.
We need healthy levels of cholesterol.
And nobody knows that's a possibility. They just think cholesterol is bad.
No, it's necessary and it's protective. When we drop it down too low, we fill up our nursing homes. I'm telling you.
It's the fat. I swear to God, it's actually.
We need fat and we need protein. And we
Yeah.
need, now especially that we're confined at home, we need to exercise. I did make myself exercise for 30 minutes today. I've been back to back with crazy stuff, but you know, we have to, and even set time throughout the day because it's hard being confined. We have to do movement so that we can get a good night's sleep. You're going to sleep so well tonight. Double up on that progesterone too.
I will be. I'll be throwing that progesterone, but I'm also kind of like, just, I don't need any more food. It's that thing of just sitting around all day. I mean, I work out every day, except today was a rest day. So I was like, oh my God. So I went for a walk. Good. But yeah.
And a walk
in the sun.
Yes. Yeah. So for many reasons, it will help bring down cortisol. We have to look, because cortisol will rob us from our peace. It robs our peace. And you know, it does make a difference. I make every person check their urine pH. Gita, have I told you to do this? I'm looking for my urine
No,
pH.
but I bought this. I think this is the thing you're meant to do.
Oh, good. Is that urine pH test strips?
I think it's I've never used them, but I did buy them.
Perfect. Good. And check your urine pH, because not only is the amount of nutrients we get from our greens and alkalinizers so critical for our physiology, but stress increases an acidic urine pH. So everyone should be checking their urine
First thing in the morning?
Get alkaline. First thing in the morning, every time you pee, till you get used to seeing what it's doing and kind of figuring out what's going on, and kind of look at it as a thermometer in a way. Like,
so if it's high, it means that I need to be doing Keto-Green 16.
Well, if you're on the acidic side,
that's
so
what
typically
I meant.
very, very yellow. So if it's low, if you're on like a pH below 7, you definitely have to do more greens, more alkalinizers, have more fun, laugh more. Sex brings up oxytocin, very alkalinizing hormone.
So on that color, where should we be?
Green, right there at the 7, 6.5, 7, 7.5. You really want to get it at 7, 7.5 on average.
Right.
Yep. 7, 7.5 on average. Bravo. Yes.
Well, I mean, it's not me, it's the bottle. So I'm gonna test it.
Yeah, now you got to start testing.
I haven't used it. Just confessing.
It's not opened yet. At least open it before the end of our call.
The really good news is that I bought it.
You did. I'm so proud of you. Yes.
Right?
It's very interesting to see what makes us more acidic, what makes us more alkaline.
Yeah, it's something I talk about all the time.
Mm-hmm. Test, don't gas, especially now. And so I was just interviewed for a news station here, and they came to my house because they're not having people go to the news station. So they came to my house, and we talked about how do we manage stress. And honestly, it really comes back to one thing I learned from a physician, one of my professors in medical school. And he said, Dr. Anna, you are the only one who can upset yourself.
It's very true.
I was like, really? My husband can really piss me off, or boyfriend at the time. And he's like, no, you choose how to respond. And
absolutely.
That. So true, right? So with this, we can go down a avenue of fear, which is going to deplete all our sex hormones.
Yeah.
And our muscle, cause us to break down. Cortisol breaks us down. Testosterone, progesterone builds us up. Look at you, you're getting close to actually.
I am just opening this in front of you because that's just the kind of chick I am.
Well, do you want to just take a second break and go to the restroom and pee on the stick, and let's see where you're at?
No, I really don't. Thank you so much. Bearing in mind I'm British and you're not, I'm not bloody peeing on bloody camera.
We're becoming British.
We're just going to get British. So we have to go pee on this thing.
Yes.
And then it's going to give us a thing. And so this just so we can all see, this is all full of these things.
Yes.
Test strips.
Yes.
And so it's a pH
test strip. Yes. And I have a good article too on my website about testing your urine. Your urine is a vital sign. It really is. And especially at this time of stress.
Oh yeah. And especially when you see people with extremely yellow, really smelly urine, and you can tell because like you've gone into the bathroom after them or something, and you're kind of like, wow, you need to get that checked. It really is an issue.
Yeah. And dehydration right now too. increase our hydration, increase our fluid. Look at you. Oh my gosh. I just have an empty.
I needed good marks because I hadn't opened the damn thing. So.
Keto-Green smoothie. This was coconut milk. I wish I could have shown it to you. It was so beautiful. Coconut milk, a handful of greens. They were some kale, spinach, and dandelion greens, whatever I had in the fridge. Handful of clover sprouts, because they were out of broccoli sprouts at the grocery store. A big slice of ginger, which is so good for digestion. Coconut milk, some ice cubes, a scoop, a heaping teaspoon of mighty maca, and a squirt of lemon juice. So it really gave it a little tropical feel. So a really nice blend.
Did you blend? Yeah, I was going to say you blended, not juice.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm actually doing celery juice at the moment. I'm doing every morning.
Oh,
like a whole.
I added a celery in there too.
Yeah.
The whole celery, the whole thing. Yes, so good.
I'm doing that every morning because I've just resisted it because I always wanted to. I like blending. I don't like juicing. I was like, all right, so I've done it now for 5 days.
Well, and it's low glycemic, so I'm not opposed, but you know, it's low glycemic. So I think that's a good way. I mean, that for me, I break like in the morning when I wake up, I don't even consider that breaking fast, so to speak, just drinking an alkalinizing drink to flush out toxins. The sooner we can do it, the better we're going to be.
Like lemon and water, basically.
Apple cider, a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, shot of mighty maca. Yes. Lemon and water. Okay.
I hate apple cider so much. I'm the only health guru in the world that hates beetroot and apple cider. Like loathe them. I can't even lie to you how much I dislike them. Yeah. So you were saying my celery juice is low glycemic, so I can have that and not consider it breaking my intermittent fasting.
Well, technically we are breaking. I mean, if we're
but as long as it doesn't raise
your water. But it's, I mean, and this is what I did to figure all this out with especially in writing Keto-Green 16. For like about a year, I wore a continuous blood sugar monitor. It monitors my blood sugar 24 hours a day. I can see, and that's how I created the recipes for Keto-Green 16. And you know, there's no big peaks or valleys. So everything really keeps your blood sugar really stable. So you're not going to have these swings, these highs and lows. And especially as we're menopausal, those highs and low swings trigger hot flashes, trigger cravings, trigger mood swings. We can't have that. So I created the menu so your blood sugar stays stable. It's pretty cool. And so you're not going to get those peaks. So look and see, or check your blood sugar, you know, check to see what happens when you do it. But I know celery juice is low glycemic. And right now at this time, I would say that's doing you more good than harm. Yeah. Right. Because it's helping you flush toxins first thing in the morning. It's nourishing you. You feel like you're doing a good thing for your body. And so that's really supportive for me too.
Well, and it's also your liver. I mean, the effect it has, I can feel the effect it's having on my liver, and I can feel that it's changing the way my digestion works, you know? Yes. Even like if I'm eating food that otherwise I would have been okay with, and then I eat it and I'm like, oh my God, I have, you know, my digestion's struggling with it. I'm like, let's not do that one again. You know, so it's a really interesting, it changes the whole physiology of your body somehow.
Yes, 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 it's true.
I was doing a heavy metal detox. That's why I was doing that. So I did that plus seaweed and stuff. The seaweed, medical medium, the smoothie and the celery. So now I can go on to Keto-Green 16 knowing I'm all clean.
Detoxed and cleaned. Ah, that made it rhyme. Keto-Green 16, all detoxed and clean.
Right? We're so good at this shit. Okay, amazing. So people will go on, they will try the Keto-Green 16 recipes. They will balance their blood sugar. That lowers also, at the same time, it lowers their acidity.
Yes.
The intermittent fasting keeps you healthy. It gives the body time to digest and break everything down. Mm-hmm. And tell me about some of the results that you've actually had with Keto-Green 16.
Well, actually, I was just in Gainesville, Florida. I was we're doing a group medical visit using Keto-Green 16. They're one of the pilot centers. And so they're running it through the medical practice. I had 30 people attending. And beforehand, because this is our third or fourth round, one of the women who was a media attorney, and Dr. Akey's like, you know, Dr. Anna, you want to speak? She's a media attorney. She wants to speak with you. And I'm like, oh, shit, what did I do?
Okay, so wait, you have a test pool of people that ate Keto-Green 16 for a while.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And so here she wants to speak to me. Okay. I'm like, okay, great. So so it turns out here she is. She's 67 years old. She had a history of breast cancer when she was 62 years old, spent the last 5 years feeling shitty. And she started doing, and she, you know, working with the best doctors, you know, fine tuning everything in, but, you know, hormones and inflammatory markers. So anyway, she joined the Keto-Green test group, 16 test group. And she, in just in 1 month, in one cycle and a half of doing Keto-Green 16, she just says, I feel so much better. And they just went to Australia, and she just wanted to thank me because she kept up with everyone, felt better than she has in any vacation that she's been on in the last decade. Sent me a picture of them scuba diving.
Amazing.
And so good, a history of breast cancer. So she's like, you know, like, it's just a faint memory of the past now. I feel like conquered, like I've conquered it. And so, so that was really powerful for me. And for men, it's important for men too. Some women think, oh, well, I can't cook this way for me and not cook this way for my husband. Let me tell you, that same day, a gentleman, she introduced me to another male patient, this 72-year-old, because we'd said the Keto-Green 16, I wanted in the toughest population, those of us over 50. And I've had 30-year-olds do it. I've had 20-year-olds do it. My daughter, Amanda, lost 30 pounds being Keto-Green 16. So she's 23. But those of us that are tough, so he's a 72-year-old former zoologist, and he's gone through, like, highlighted, you know, and, you know, looked through my programs and has been following it. And he used to have back pain and aching joints. And he said, I feel so much better. I feel so much better.
Wow.
And, you know, that just is so honoring, because I think, you know, veterinarians and zoologists, I mean, they're ahead of the game when it comes to medicine because their patients don't talk back, right?
No, exactly. So they can try all kinds of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're really holistic.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when does it come out?
So it comes out May 5th. So it's available to pre-order now.
On Amazon?
UK Amazon, yes. And then there's a book bonus page. So just save your receipt and put it in the book bonus page, and you'll get the 3 feast recipes, 3-day quick start, Keto-Green roadmap, and other bonuses. I can't remember what they are right now.
Hooray, I'm so thrilled.
A bunch of good stuff that we couldn't put in the book. Like I wanted this trifold, you know, this really nice visuals. I'm very visual, and those are a little bit hard to put in the book. So getting started right away.
So is it a paperback coming out, or is it on Kindle as well?
It's on Kindle, and it'll be an audiobook too. I have to record that next week. So,
yes. Wow.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yes. Yes.
Fun, but tough.
I did for my Hormone Fix book, and that was the first time ever doing, you know, an audiobook. So that was quite a challenge, but I'm so glad it was me recording it. So you'll hear my voice, you'll hear my anecdotes, you'll hear some extras most likely.
Yeah, exactly. Because as you're winging it. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful that we had the time with you and that you joined us, and, you know, that we learned so much about it. And I can't wait actually to get Keto-Green 16. And I'm going to post the link for it as well, so everybody can, you can download it, and you can go and get the bonus thing, so you can start playing with the recipe, so that by the time it gets there, you'll just know exactly what it is you're doing. And we don't say y'all, but I'm talking to an American, so it's affected my brain.
There you go, a Southern American right now.
Right, on top of everything else. So thank you, and thank you for your time, and for all this hard work you put in. I mean, that's just amazing. So this is Dr. Anna Cabeca.